Welcome to another video on Essential Invasions series. And in this video, we're going to take a look at this high and low two-space extensions invasions. As you can see, depending on the situation on the corner, the way of answering the invasion changes a little bit. First, we're going to take a look at if the stone is on the first line. And second, we're going to take a look at if the stone is on the third line but two spaces apart. And last, we're going to take a look at the stone is on the third line but there's only one space in between. Before I begin this tutorial, I want to mention that if you're playing a game, I don't recommend you to invade like this, because at the end, you're not going to get much out of it. But this kind of invasion kind of happens quite often in Q games. So it's good to know how to answer this kind of invasions. To make the board situation real, so let's start from the scratch. Black plays here, white plays here, all following the principles of Fuseki while you're making these exchanges. White plays here, black pulls back, and white needs to prevent the double wing, so white has to play here. Black answers, and white pulls back, and black approaches the corner too. When white answers, black pulls back, white plays here, and black answers. And for some reason, white thought this is big, so white invades over here. Before I begin to show you the variations, I want to mention that this is usually not good. There are some occasions this is the correct answer. Perhaps there are a lot of black stones over here, so white going out is just going to die, or black has some great diabolical plan to do, but unless you have those kind of plans, just block from the top. White is going to bump and trying to connect. And the second mistake I see people do is extending over here, trying to cut the connection. But this is actually 90% of the time terrible. White is going to play here. Black is going to block. White connects. Now there's a cutting point. Black, either tiger's mouth or whatever, just connects up over here. Then white can jump out. This group is not going to die. Just remember that. It's not going to die. And after white lives, somehow black, this cutting point is very nasty. White can come out over here. When black blocks, white can cut either side, and black is going to have a very frustrating fight and may even die somewhere. That's why when white bumps over here, just secure the influence outside. And of course, white is going to keep haneing, trying to live. At this point, you may be wondering, what am I doing? White destroyed all my potential. I got nothing. But just keep watching. All you gotta do is extend. You do not double hane. You just extend if the stone is on the first line. White is going to keep extending, trying to live. All you gotta do is keep extending, and now you see you are leaking into white's corner. Although white destroyed 4 points, that's actually 4 points if you look at it. This is 4 points. White can at any time do these kind of exchanges, and that's only 4 points. But while white is destroying black's 4 points, black gets to destroy whatever is worth over here. If white keeps pushing, then you can just keep going in and destroy everything over there. But if white plays something like this, then white is of course going to play something like this, trying to secure the corner while destroying this part of the board. Then all you gotta do is just keep pushing. After this, the most common variation we see is this one. Then the simplest answer would be just block over here. If white connects back, secure these stones by playing here, and you're set. If you look at this one, you may be thinking, what did black do? Black got absolutely nothing. No. Before, we had this. And white could have easily invaded over here, but by invading over here, this part of the board kind of got solidified. On top of that, black got this really great influence that faces middle. In the process, white only got a few points. That's really not a lot of points. Even if black throws a stone over here, that's even bigger than whatever white got over here. When white extends over here, if you are feeling fancy, then you can attach over here. More than likely, white will play something over here. Then you can, again, come back and play this to secure this part of the board. If white plays here, then you can Atari out. And if white extends over here, then you can just capture this stone and see what happens. If white is trying to be clever and play here, then you can just capture this stone. When white connects up, you can play away, get your sente. There are some other variations over here, but it gets complicated. So when white plays this move, just come back and play this. Let white connect back, you secure your cutting point and get your points and influence. When black plays here, there is also a chance of white trying to further erase this part of the board. Let's take a look at this one first. If white plays here, then all you gotta do is hane. White is going to hane again. Then you double hane. If white Ataris, then connect, captures this stone, then you can counter Atari. When white captures this, you can capture these 5 stones. If you look at this one, white only captured 1 stone, but black captured 5 stones. So that is extremely result. So if you look at this one, while white is only capturing 1 stone, black captured 5 stones. So it's really good result for black. What if white, after Ataring this stone, black connects up and tries to live? Then all black has to do is, if the ladder is good, just ladder it out. If not, just extend, no biggie. White is going to have to live over here. And with the sente, black can do whatever black wants. And later in the game, black can come back and just destroy the corner even more. If you look at this one, white, while destroying 4 points, made a few more points over here, but the corner is destroyed and black got this sick influence going on. So this result also favors black. From here, what if white, instead of playing this extension, white small knights? The Tesuji over here is to attach over here. White cannot extend because black can try to cut the connection. If white cuts the connection, black gets to capture everything over here. So when black attaches, white has no choice but to pull back. And black is going to completely surround these white stones. From here, white gets to live. Can you see how white can live? Okay, you could pause the video or whatever, but let me show you the answer. There are 2 tiger's mouses to play, but the correct one is this one because these 2 stones are weaker. There is extra liberty over here, but these 2 doesn't. So you have to play over here. Even if black plays here, white can play here. If black pushes in, white is alive. If black destroys this eye, white is still alive. What happens if white play this tiger's mouth? Then all black has to do is throw a stone in. White captures this stone. Black Ataris these 2 white stones. White either has to connect or capture, but let's see what happens if white plays here. Then boom, white only has 1 eye. Even if white captured this stone, with this move, white still dies. Now let's take a look at this situation. 2 space, high and low, and there is also 2 space in between white and black stones, and white stone is on the 3rd line. If we see this one, when white invades, black is still going to play like this, but when white extends, the difference is that since white has a stone over here, black extending does not make sense anymore. Even if black plays here, white gets to connect, and black doesn't get to destroy the corner, and these 3 stones has a very tight liberty. That's why when white hanes over here, again, low stone, 2 space, black is going to double hane. If white ataris this stone, then black can just connect. If white captures this black stone, then black can counter Atari. When white captures, black can capture these two stones. If you don't see why these two stones are captured, then let's take a look. Black is going to Atari, white goes out, black Atari. Even if white extends Atari, all the stones are going to die. And this result, if you look at it, this, if you remember, it was 4 points for black. But now black got about 8 points or something over here. White got some extra points, so they even out. But the difference is this part of the board got solidified, so black got extra profit. On top of that, black got influence. So this is really great result for black. After white Ataris, what if white does not Atari this stone but connect over here? Then all black has to do is Atari. When black comes out, Atari again. White is going to come out. And now there is a cut Atari over here. So secure your weakness by playing a tiger's mouth. Next, if white answer anything over here, I don't know what white could do, but let's say white played something like this to crow this part, then black can make a turn and capture everything on this side of the board. If white tries to live, then black can completely surround white, and later on, black can make this move and take the corner, or just come out and try to fight everything, kill everything. It's a really good result for black. What if, at this point, white does not make any exchanges and simply connect? Then black first needs to secure the weakness over here by playing this tiger's mouth. And someone playing these kind of moves will always play something over here or here. Usually this one. But let's say this person is really greedy and extend it down. Then black can come back and try to capture these stones. Then white is of course going to Atari, trying to resist and play here. Can you see how black can capture these white stones? The answer is very simple. This Hane. Even if white plays here, black can Atari. When white connects, black can Hane, and everything is dead. And for the last one, let's take a look at this high and low, two space extension and one space in between, while the white stone is on the third line. Again, when white invades over here, black is going to block. White bumps, black blocks, and when white hanes, when we have two space over here, black double haned. And if the stone is on the fourth line, then black keeps extending, leaking into the corner. But in this situation, we have this stone and only one space apart. And when white hanes, black does not make any moves over here. Black simply blocks this side. This way, first, black is solidifying this part of the board and is getting some influence. White needs to Atari this stone. Black Atari's back. When white extends, the great part is that black gets a sente. Black can throw any stone over here. That's worth more than whatever white got over here. What if, at this point, after black played this move, white does not answer and just keeps growing? Then white is going to get into a huge trouble. White plays away, then black can Atari these two white stones. White extends, black Ataris, white captures this stone, black connects the weakness. White needs another eye, so white extends. When black hanes, white needs to spend another move to make sure this group is not going to die. And all black has to do is just hane or just jump in or whatever. Let's see this hane. If white blocks from here, then black can Atari this stone and get the corner. Even if white extends like this, thinking, I'm being clever, black can jump in and white cannot cut the connection. Play here, play here. If white blocks, even if white cuts over here, black can push in. If white blocks, Atari, capture, everything's going to die. It's very sad. I'm not going to show you all the variations that could happen over here, but all you gotta remember is that As soon as this hane happens, it gets very sad for white. Let's recap. So there are 3 typical shapes we have to deal with. First of all, this is 2-space, high and low extension, and there are star point and 3-4 points. And when we're dealing with 3-4 points, there are 2 kinds of situation. It's when we have 2 space apart and 1 space apart. This 3 space apart, I don't think it's going to ever happen. But even if it happens, why would white invade over here? Why would just play here? So yeah, let's recap everything. When white plays over here, whatever the shape it is, you do not block from here. You block from the top. When white bumps, you do not try to cut the connection by extending this stone. You block from the middle. If it's the start point, when white hanes, all you gotta do is just extend. If white extends again, you extend, destroy the corner, you'll be fine. If white plays here, then black can play over here. If white plays this extension, the easiest way to deal with it is just block over here. When white connects back, just jump to secure this cutting point. When white plays here, if black wants to be fancy, then black can attach over here, but it can get complicated. Now let's take a look at this 2 space apart. When white invades, again, you block from top. When white hanes, you double hane for this 2 space apart. If white plays here, just connect. If white captures this stone, you counter Atari. When white captures it, you capture these 2 stones. If white, instead of capturing this black stone, white connects, then all you gotta do is just Atari. White comes out, Atari again, white comes out, black hane over here, and white is either going to lose the corner or these stones are going to die. Last but not the least, let's take a look at this 1 space apart. When white invades, block. When white bumps, block. When white hane, you do not play anything over here. You simply block from the other side. White needs to capture this stone, Atari. When white extends, black can play away. If white does not capture this stone and play away, then black can Atari here. When white extends, Atari captures, connect the weakness. White still needs to alive. White still needs to be alive. Hane, white is alive, and hane over here, white gets very sad. As a bonus, let's take a look at this one. What's the reason for this jump? It's for when white invades, black can play this move. This way, if white tries to go out, black can just capture everything. Alright, that's it for today's video. I hope you liked it. In order to turn these things into yours, you gotta play out a few times on a board by yourself. There really isn't much to memorize because it's all just concepts and theory. All you gotta remember is that you do not go for the kill. You let your opponent live if your opponent invades in. While your opponent is trying to live, you are stacking your influence, solidifying your part of the board, and you also get to leak into your opponent's territory to destroy points. So you are not really losing anything by making your opponent live. Alright, that's it. So see you next time in another video, maybe a key spread or another tutorial. So until then, stay safe.